for anything. So you can't have no fun until you learn. Move out, move. Nice. Nice. Instructor Ford, this lesson is kind of off the cuff. Welcome to lessons, is it 16? Lesson 16, Greenbelt. So I promised you last lesson that we would kind of divide this up and do some ring craft and some braking. So we're gonna bring you some braking and a drill you can use for ring craft on this lesson. We're also gonna look at the first part of Saturn again. So I think it's been a while since you've done Saturn. So, you know, kind of like the Dutch theme parks we would go to when I was a kid. We can't have fun until we learn. So now, like Flavorhof over Holland would have, you would go through agricultural exhibits before you were released into the park. So you can't have no fun until you learn. So, stand beside me, sir. First part of Saturn, super easy. Get away from the slick clover. Anybody watching the bump guy to my personal form, or you're gonna know how treacherous that stuff is. So we're going to bow. This is just review. Or, sorry, I'm going into Okinawan kata. So we're going to bow, ready position, left head block, right head block, and I'm straightening out my leg on this block because I know that I can use this as a throw to level them out. So sliding in between the legs, grabbing the leg, and you have a pretty nice heel pick or really nice single leg takedown. So next one, we're going to do a straight kick with the right leg, and this is calling for head level, but for these purposes, chest level or hip level will work. And then again, I'm straightening out my body, so I'm reaping and straightening, and I've stepped behind their legs. The little piece of reading Bunkai for you, Bunkai Oyo. So that's the first part of Saturn. You've got two throws there. Two throws that are actually quite good. Quite good throws, quite good lockups. So we're going to get into a board breaking drill that I like, that emphasizes rolling the blocks. It may even become the intro. Let me get some boards here. Found one with a crack in it. So this ends up on the intro, that's fine. You'll get the joke, and that's all that matters. I think it's gonna break easier like this. Found one with a crack in it. They don't count for anything. Ah! So that ought to be fun. We'll add that into the intro. Probably yell, "Welcome to Greenbelt" or something like that. Something ridiculous. So we're going to break boards with our blocks. I've got 3 boards here, very simple. And Mr. Weaver's not feeling well today, so he's going to be breaking some boards. And so the first block we're going to break with is going to be side block. So side block, please. All right, let's turn to where they can see that side block. Here you go, you can stand on my side. And so do side block, please. What are you doing on the side block? So I'm snapping at the last second. So to get that snap really good, you go get some rebreakable boards. These are not rebreakable boards. These are real boards. They're inch thick pine. These are 8-inch slat. So I like the 8-inch slat. You get more training material out of one plank than you do with 12-inch slats. And there's not that much difference in the way they break at between 8 and 12 inches. Not much at all. But it's enough to get the lesson across. So he is going to break to measure up. Also tells you where to hit at. Okay.
Demonstrate first.
So that snap in there. That snap is what you're breaking with.
Oops.
Hit your instructor in the head. That's fine.
10 points. Or push-ups.
Well, I'm not bleeding, so not yet anyway.
That was going to be a little bit more resistance. My energy's like way down here, so I'm trying to get...
Yeah, he's going through medical stuff right now, so he's not feeling the best. So, next one will be head block. So how we do head block on this is we're going to lean forward for head block and go ahead and measure up. All right, there we go. All right. Try that again. I'm short. So, what this drill does, other than hit your instructor in the head, is it will change the way in which you snap a block. So let's do inside block. That's a good snap. That hand. So on inside block, we get that last little roll, and that's where we're emphasizing on the technique. Again, hit the instructor. My God. Good thing I'm not made of glass or sugar.
I got enough energy to stop myself.
That's fine. Okay, so that drill is a lot of fun, and it will help you emphasize the snap on your blocks. That snap is very important. It's important for setting up throws. It's important for not feeling anything. And our blocks are checks anyway, so when he throws a punch, our blocks are checks. Now, if we make that check hurt, that's not our fault. He shouldn't have been punching us. So this drill, now before we started doing this drill, you know, I think I did this drill with you about a year ago. Before we did this drill a year ago, did you realize that one, you can break with blocks? But what did this drill teach you as a budding martial artist?
Well, what it taught me is how to get the actual alignment of the block. Where I'm hitting it with just certain the weaker part of the block where it's hurting me to block.
Yes. So, and when I learned this block many eons ago, when I learned this type of breaking, now breaking has its place. And when I learned this type of breaking many eons ago, it was because my instructor wanted to correct the way I was throwing blocks. So he's like, well, you know, you need that snap on the end. Now, totally different style, but in this case, it works really well because we roll our blocks. We have that little quick roll on the end of our blocks, and that is what gives us a little more power behind the block. So, one of the other drills we're going to talk about is slap boxing for ring contact. Mr. Will, if you get over here. So, all right, now, and this drill is something I did in my youth. It's just to get you used to reaction. It's a reaction drill. And so you'll, at the very beginning, you'll start off with an opponent that the only thing they can target is your sternum. Now, are they going to make contact? Maybe, maybe not. That depends on you and your whatever deal you've worked out with your sparring partner. But this is to get that reaction. So he's going to start out with something as simple as, all right, well, then I'm going to be throwing reverse punches, or I'm going to throw lunge punches for your sternum as we spar. So we get in our sparring positions, and he's going to throw that straight punch. And so I'm going to react, and I'm going to just pop him. Or I'm going to try to move out of the way. Now, if he throws the technique, he's going to get inside my guard. He's never going to extend fully, but he's going to give me an opportunity to start timing out what that punch is. And after I get to where I can move that punch, he's going to speed up that punch. So say I don't exactly have enough speed yet, and there's a split-second interval, and I'm here. And so he's going to do that until I get that speed to get that punch out of the way. And so now when he throws it, I'm coming in. You can ask him, I'm not hitting him hard, I'm just giving him a pop. So now say he's gonna be like, all right, well, let's work the other side. So he brings in the other arm, come in. So now say he decides, well, I'm gonna throw a round kick for your stomach, and this is not optimal. So he's throwing it up, and I'm moving in. So in actual sparring, what's going to happen next, he's going to hit me with that, and I'm going to have my arms fold in, but that's more optimal. So he's going to give me feedback, I'm going to give him feedback. So what I'm experiencing, Will, how do I help from, or Mr. Weaver, how do I help from getting hit with that? Because I realize in sparring, that's going to eat through my slap. So that's when he's like, hey dude, change your direction. So he's gonna be all right, now move back, change direction, slap it through, and then go in for the target. So you're going to do this drill at this stage at Greenbelt. You're gonna do this drill, and you're gonna learn a lot from this drill. The next one is, and we'll probably do this in about 2 weeks, maybe a week, we'll do a phone booth drill. We put on sparring gear and we box in the phone booth. And then we'll go into point sparring. And point sparring at this stage is perfect. Because what does point sparring teach? It teaches timing, it teaches reach, and it teaches speed. 3 things you need moving forward. The phone booth will tie in the ability to scrap.
And the difference that it don't.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah, close quarter scrapping, there's nothing else like it. But this is essentially the drill. So as we continue, and he's like, well, I'm going to be throwing a back fist for your head. Now I noticed that I just got tied up there. Well, how am I going to fix this? Hey, can you set that up again? That's all you've got to say is, hey, can you set that technique up again? And he's going to try and throw it the best way he can throw it to mimic the way he did it before, which is just kind of a rolling nose bob, rolling back fist for the top of the head. And so I want to look at this. How did I get tied up before? And well, I tripped over his leg and I got punched in the head. Had we been actually sparring, I would have got hit in the head with that as I was checking it. So I'm like, all right, let's do this again. So now I'm moving the other way, I'm pushing it away, and I'm throwing in my back fists. And then you're going to ease into other techniques, like you might decide, hey, Mr. Weaver, can I work against side kick? And after a while, once you get used to this drill with set techniques, you're going to free spar with it. Very simple. You just kind of free spar. So one person's be the aggressor, one person's be the defender. You're going to free spar. So one person will solely work on counters and checking. The other person will work on just trying to get in. Try to get that reach. So I'm Instructor Ford. Consider this your first actual sparring lesson. And you're hitting your instructor in the face during breaking. Will, my bad. I'm Instructor Ford, this is Mr. Weaver, and I will never let you live that down. But all in good fun. We will see you on the next lesson.